Terrorism attacks, religious conflicts, and inter-ethnic violence have brought much trauma to northern Nigeria in recent decades. Unfortunately, little have been done by Nigeria's creative professionals in telling the many heartbreaking stories of that region through their works. Typically, songs should have been released, movies produced, and books written to narrate those stories, but we have not seen much of those, if there have been any at all. One writer who has decided to change that is Edifier Yakusak. She's a young Nigerian lawyer with a flair for writing and a desire to see things change for good in Nigeria's northern region. Edifier is the author of this book titled After the Left. It's a book that touched my heart deeply and got me thinking seriously about the painful experiences of many victims of violence in Nigeria. Mind you, it is fiction, but one based on realities. The genre is thriller, the type you don't want to drop until you know what happens next. Edifier joined us to discuss her thrilling book, her writing, and issues of violence in northern Nigeria. Enjoy our chat. Edifier, thank you for joining us on Channels Book Club.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
After the Left,
Yeah.
you are a writer from northern Nigeria.
Yes,
Let's
I
start
am.
from there.
Yes, I am.
People have this general perception that not many great writers, are from the northern part of Nigeria.
Well, I'll bet to differ because I feel there are lots of great writers from northern Nigeria. Start with Hebron Abila, one of my favorite writers, and I think he's doing a good job. And he's from northern Nigeria.
Yeah, he's a great writer.
He's from Gombe, and we have El Nathan John. We have Abubakar Adam Ibrahim. We have various others, and they are all around. But yes, the number is limited. There could be more, and there are more. But that's why we need to support and promote new and upcoming writers, especially from the north and all over Nigeria, to write and to publish their work.
You are a writer from northern Nigeria,
Yes.
who is keen on using her writing
Yes.
to get authorities to pay attention to things happening in the north.
Yes.
Is that a fair way of describing you as a writer? Does that tell your story as a writer? Does that define you?
Well, I understand that most people write to entertain, but you can also write to inform, to change things, to let people see your point of view, to, assert your opinion out there. I think that's the path I chose to go to take. Because I didn't start out writing this. This isn't what I started out writing. I started writing something totally different. I'm a big fan of fantasy works and horror and stuff. That's what I actually wanted to do. But this story, at a point, it was like I had to write this story because what I wrote about kept happening and happening and nothing could be done. And I was so confused. I didn't know where to turn to or how things would turn out. So I felt it was my duty to write something like this. Let me do my own bit, at least, the way I know how to.
Okay, for so many people out there who are wondering, what is that something you've written? Your first novel, right?
Yes.
After the Left.
Yes.
Let's run through it a bit.
Okay.
What's our story?
Okay, our story is basically it's centered around a family living in Jos. And it's centered around the crisis. They were attacked. And the story just runs through their life. We get to see them before they were attacked, how they were attacked, and how they got through it. And the effects, that's what the book is basically talking about. The effects of these attacks on the lives of people, both as human beings and as citizens of Nigeria.
It's a very graphic narrative.
Yes, it is.
When I was reading it, it was taking me through various emotions.
Okay.
You said you were a fan of horror, right?
Yes.
You really did a good job of, but it's what is going on, right?
Yes, it is.
The gruesome attacks.
Yes.
This family just suddenly got attacked. Everybody almost wiped out in the family.
Yes.
The disasters or the horrors going on in the IDP camps, and all that. Tell me about how you, what did you draw on? Do you have any personal experiences, any member of your family? From where did you draw, those emotions? Okay,
well, fortunately, let me use that word, I haven't personally known anyone, like my family member or a relative, or a friend who has been a part of this attack. But I've heard, or who has been attacked, but I've heard stories, I've seen pictures, I've been able to interact with people who know people who have gone through this particular attack. One of them happened in my mom's village. My mom is also from Southern Kaduna. She's from a village called Ataka, and it happened there. And this one day, it was a completely barbaric situation. And they don't spare even the children, even the women, everyone. You just go and it's like you're on a killing spree. And I couldn't understand why. I tried to wrap my head around it. I could not understand why. My book is fiction, but I really do wish it weren't true, or that these things aren't happening. So it's fiction, and I found out that some of the experiences I wrote about in the book, something similar had happened after I'd written the book. So I felt really bad that, okay, yes, my book is fiction, and to a certain extent, I was able to write a narrative that is fiction, but non-fiction in a way. But it really pained me that, okay, yes, this is confirmation that these things are actually happening, and they are still happening, and nothing is being done to stop it.
The IDP camp, I mean, the two children in your book came and Jugu, is that correct?
Yes.
They ended up in the IDP camp.
Yes.
Now, the woman running the IDP camp happened to be involved in child trafficking, right? Yes. Does that really happen? Have you had anything like that, any of the IDP camps?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. But that does not say that people in a situation, in a position that they are supposed to help these people, most times they take advantage of them.
Oh yeah, we've had many stories.
Yes,
yeah,
so that is what the part of the book is trying to portray.
Okay, so you drew from that.
Yes, so I just drew from that, not like it actually happened. But it could be happening. It's very, very possible that it's happening.
Actually, it's happening.
Yes.
Okay, taking you back to the question I asked you earlier.
Yes.
You know, are you a writer? How do you balance entertainment with your message? Because even from your profile here, when I read your profile, you know, at the back of your book, I was saying, oh, Edify must really, really be strong on this message. How do you balance entertaining the reader, you know, and then passing that message across? I don't know. I wrote it, so I can't really say if it's entertaining or not. I think it's the readers who would say. But so far, I heard, yes, the people who read it say it has been informative, and yes, they have been entertained. Someone has even described this as an emotional roller coaster. They really enjoyed reading it, and well, yeah, they felt sad, but they said it was a great read. Do you feel it's gruesome enough?
I think even for me, I think it's too gruesome.
Very gruesome.
Yes, I think it is.
Very, very gruesome. I mean, if you don't have the liver, so it was a tough question. You know, then how about what's the greatest challenge you faced writing this?
Okay, I think my greatest challenge writing it has to be publishing it, because publishing is, well, sort of a gray area in Nigeria that people are really looking into. It's very big abroad, a big industry worth billions of dollars, but in Nigeria we find that, well, there aren't even much publishers to start with. And for a country like Nigeria, where we have a population of 170 million people, I think that's not good enough. I shouldn't be able to count the number of publishers we have in Nigeria on my fingers. There should be much more than that to be able to cater to the population. So I think that's my major problem. I looked for a publisher and I couldn't find one, so I was forced to self-publish, which appears to be the mainstream way to publish in Nigeria.
Where have you had the most readers? Southern Nigeria or Northern Nigeria?
Well, I think I'm just breaking into the south, so Northern Nigeria.
So you've had more readers there.
Yes.
I would have thought, I mean, this is a book that I think most people who have never experienced Northern Nigeria should read. Yeah, because it creates a picture of what is going on.
Especially if you stay far, it's very easy to stay in your comfort zone. In Lagos, for example, and all you get to see or know about the crisis is through a headline. Just 10 killed in new fresh attack, 20 what, and you don't know, you cannot understand, you don't have any idea of what it means to be faced in a situation like that.